Hey guys, so this video is going to be for my newbies, for those of you women out there who think you might have an autoimmune condition but aren't sure, or you've been recently diagnosed. I'm going to go into some of the precursors and what you need to do either to get diagnosed or to figure it out or recognize some of the signs of an autoimmune condition, because oftentimes you might have some weird things happening like skin issues, tired, gaining weight. I had a finger blow up like a sausage, and I kind of got gaslit by my doctor. They was like, oh, you probably hit yourself. I'm like, I didn't hit myself. I know if I would bang myself that badly that my finger would blow up. So you get kind of these weird, IBS might be one of them. So I'm going to go into some of the signs that you might have an autoimmune condition and what to do about it. And yeah, so some of the tips on what to do and how to get diagnosed and everything and how to be sure. So let's dive in. Okay, first of all, my name is Sherry Fogelman. If you like what you're hearing, if you want to hear more about autoimmune conditions, especially if you already were diagnosed, if you're newly diagnosed, usually, this is tip number one, usually it starts with some kind of SIBO, Candida, IBS, IBD, gut motility issues, some type of gut issue that you have, and you're like, my gut is just not right. You've got all kinds of constant chronic signs that you can't get solved. That actually is a precursor to autoimmune condition, and I'm going to go into why as well. So I'm not a doctor. In case you're new here and you haven't heard this from me, I am not a doctor. I am not giving medical advice. This is for informational and conversational purposes only. I reverse the symptoms. Not allowed to use the word cured, but I'm symptom free. So I reverse the symptoms. I'm in remission. I want to use the right terminology, but I don't give medical advice. I don't diagnose. So even though we're talking about the signs of autoimmune here, this is not a diagnosis. I am going to send you to rheumatology, clue number one, to get diagnosed, because you do want to have a diagnosis. So I'm not a doctor, not giving medical advice. Again, I want to make that really clear so I don't get in trouble on YouTube. This is for conversational purposes only, and I'm not diagnosing anything. So here we go. Let's dive into some of the signs that you're having. So first of all, you might be having strange, weird things like some of the things I mentioned. You might be really tired. So when you have an autoimmune condition, it taxes your immune system. So when I said IBS, IBD, SIBO, gut motility issues, anything that has to do with the GI, 70 to 80% of your immune system resides in your gut microbiome. So if your immune system is going awry, if you're already seeing other signs of autoimmune like hair loss, hives, eczema, psoriasis, all of a sudden you have acne, maybe you're 35 and you have weird acne, any of those strange signs, you're already kind of into your autoimmune condition a little bit, and you're having an autoimmune response, which means that your immune system is confused and it's attacking tissue and cells that it shouldn't be attacking, right? So it'll go onto your skin and attack that. It'll go to your thyroid. People with Sjogren's, it'll attack your mouth and your salivary glands. People with Hashimoto's, you'll feel tired. It attacks your thyroid gland. You'll feel tired. You'll gain weight. You'll lose the ability to kind of temperature regulate, because your thyroid regulates a bunch of stuff that, your metabolism. So there's that weight gain that comes in. I'm going to talk in really simple terms. So anybody who's listening to this, that's because I'm just talking to regular people so they can kind of understand where I'm coming from. I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to talk in scientific terms. Sometimes I'll mention scientific terms, but a lot of times I'm just going to be talking to the regular old girls out there who know nothing about science, nothing about health, and they just want to know what the heck is going on with them. Okay, so back to the symptoms. You may have some weird symptoms. Now, if you have signs in your GI, I have a really cool tool for you. And if you click the link below this video, it's called my gut check quiz. And I want you to take that. So click on the link. You'll get an email. You don't have to do it right now, but you can stop this video and do it right now. You'll take a little bit of a check. So you'll get a score from like 1 to 20 or so, 1 to 25. And that'll give you sort of a score on the spectrum of where you are in terms of signs. Some people don't know chronic headaches could be a sign that your gut microbiome is out of whack. Your gut microbiome, like I said, your immune system, that's your staging ground, basically. It's your first line of defense for your immune system. So if that gets into dysbiosis, if you're really taxing that, if you've got got inflammation there, if you've got leaky gut, maybe you already have a diagnosis of leaky gut and you don't even know that it's a precursor to an autoimmune condition, that's really important information. And those are important links to make, because you don't want to go into 20 years of an autoimmune condition and you got bone on bone, you can't move your hands. You're so far deep into lupus that, you're bald, you got alopecia. I mean, signs of autoimmune can be really debilitating. You can't get out of bed anymore. You've had to quit your job. This autoimmune or this GI stuff in a mild version is not going to heal itself. You are going to have to take action, which gets me to my next step, which is you have usually a genetic component to autoimmune condition, but it's the environment that triggers it. So just because you have it, just because your mom had Hashimoto's or psoriatic arthritis or RA or any of the other ones, there's so many, there's like 90 of them, I'm not going to list them all, doesn't mean you're going to get it. You can change your environment and not get Hashimoto's, not get psoriatic arthritis, not get rheumatoid arthritis easily, not get lupus. You don't have to, or MS, that's another autoimmune condition that people think, oh, I'm just going to get that because my mom had that. I'm in fear of that. You don't have to be in fear. That's what this video is all about. It's the environment, ladies, that has triggered the autoimmune condition. So no fault of our own. We have been exposed to, I heard one biologist call it a evolutionary sort of mismatch. So our humans were living in this sort of evolutionary mismatch because the things that we have available to us in our environment are good in a lot of ways, but bad in a lot of ways. So we have food available to us 24/7. The bad thing is that a lot of us are eating 24/7. A lot of us are eating packaged foods. I think like I heard a statistic, 70%, and that's being very conservative, of the supermarket is highly processed foods. The highly processed, highly palatable foods are not doing us any good. So we want to be aware of that. So a genetic component plus the environment. So there's lots of things you can do in your environment to heal your autoimmune condition. I'm not going to go, I have other videos about that. On this video, I'm just going to talk about some of the signs really briefly. So those are some of the signs, basically. Basically, gut dysbiosis, weird things that are happening to you that don't make any sense. Like I mentioned, the weight gain, the fatigue, hair loss, whether it be in patches or all over, that can be a sign of an autoimmune condition. Hives, eczema, psoriasis. So look for those signs. Go to rheumatology. So I'm going to give you another action step. Go to rheumatology, get your blood work done. Tell your doctor that you think you might have an autoimmune condition because of these are the signs. And they will do certain blood tests to give you sort of a preliminary answer if you've got certain markers. C-reactive proteins, one of them, it tests your inflammation. You can certainly do food sensitivity testing if you can get to a doctor that will do that, or if you're seeing a functional medicine doctor. Usually my people that are with functional medicine doctors already have autoimmune condition on the brain, so they're already onto that. But make sure, I have seen people that see functional medicine doctor and they never test for food sensitivity. Food sensitivity is different than allergy tests, because allergy is like a reaction that happens maybe within 3 hours. Food sensitivity is something that's causing an immune reaction. So it's heightening that immune response, which is causing inflammation. If you have 15, 20, 25 pounds of weight to lose, you're also creating more inflammation than necessary. So sometimes just losing that weight can be very helpful. That's it. That's all I got for you. Those are some signs that you might have an autoimmune condition, and what you should, sort of your first steps is go to rheumatology, lose some weight, get some food sensitivity testing, and fix anything in your environment that you think could be making your immune system kind of overactive. Sometimes that's mold toxicity. Sometimes it's mercury toxicity. There's so many things that can activate your immune system. You want to be aware of that. So that's all I got for you. If you're interested in more videos, click the like button, click the subscribe button. I come out with new videos every week that I know are really helpful, and make sure to take that gut check quiz. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.